Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. You guys know what to do. Go ahead and smash that like button for me. Hit the subscribe if you're new, and ding the notification bell so you're instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. Today, we are back the afternoon after the Sixers dominate the Toronto Raptors in comeback fashion, coming all the way back, playing strong and tough, and just impeccable defense there in the fourth quarter. What a game it was. I will take it, advancing to 3-1. And finally, we take down Floppy McFlopperson, Aaron Baines, and the Toronto Raptors. Man, such a good feeling. It hasn't been the prettiest. It hasn't been, anything other than sloppy during a lot of times. But you know what? I'll take the 3-1. We're starting to get things together, and it's going to take some time. But man, I'll take the 3-1, and I can't wait to see what this team does moving forward. Going even further, I want to give a shout out to my Fire Take members. We are at upwards of, I think, 27 people now. So shout out to everybody who keeps showing continued love and support. Today, our top tier of the Fire Take Nation, Fire Take Legends, are using one of their perks where they get to pick a public video topic every single month. And for this month, they picked who is the Sixers' top competitor or threat in the East. So we are definitely going to dive into that and talk about it for as much as we can now. But first and foremost, man, we got something I got to talk about, man. And look, no matter how much you feel a way about this team, how you feel about Ben Simmons, whether you're a stan of Ben, whether you hate Ben, just come together today. And one thing I ask is, can we just have a conversation, just a knowledgeable conversation about Ben Simmons? I do not understand why Ben will not shoot the ball. Ben Simmons, a guy who went to Montverde Academy, a great high school, and was shooting the ball, and went to LSU, became a baller, was running the floor, #1 overall pick, and we tanked for him, and he came into camp shooting it, and I don't understand why he won't shoot it. I mean, last night I saw an instance, and even the game before, I saw the same thing, where he's had tons of space from wide open from three, and he does like a little shoulder jab, looks like he's going to pump fake, but he won't drive in. He won't shoot. He drives in and then turns around when he sees a crowded lane and does the tomahawk pass over his head. I don't understand. Why will he not shoot the ball? And again, let me make this clear, because I know the haters are going to come on this video. Look, I am a huge, maybe the biggest Ben Simmons fan there is. And I tweeted it out today, but I still want to maintain the fact that I'm not trading this guy now. I want to see how it comes in time with this new system and to see how things work. Doc said in the long run, Ben needs a jumper, but he's been saying now he just wants him to be a better basketball player, which I understand. And that's why this thing is so frustrating, because Ben is he's just an immaculate defender. Like, he is so enticing to watch. The way he runs the floor, I mean, he can get down the floor in 2 seconds. He's a facilitator, and he just has a lot of basketball IQ. And it just sucks, because at age 24, we are not asking this guy to go 5 for 6 from 3 every game. We are asking you to take a couple threes. Or if you don't want to do that, if you don't feel comfortable from the corner, take a 10-foot elbow shot like you used to. And again, we're only 4 games in, so I'm not going to make a judgment or say we got to do this or that. But all I'm saying is, if we're 40, 50 games into this year and he still hasn't taken more than 5 threes, we have an issue. But look, I'm one of the biggest Ben Simmons appreciators. Like I said, I love everything he's able to do. I know he can impact this team and this game in a multitude of ways, and I'm interested to see how he continues to grow. But let's go ahead and look at some things, man, because it just doesn't make sense. With the way Embiid is dominating right now, Tobias Harris has to be more consistent, but Ben Simmons going 3 for 11 last night. Look, there's coaches like Nick Nurse, and it's like, why does he never have success against these guys? It's because they know how to play him. Brad Stevens started it in the playoffs years ago, and Nick Nurse has been one of the guys to perfect it. Look, they just crowd the lane and make him push it out. It's the same thing every time. He can impact the game in other ways, but it's like, why? Why? And I'm struggling with this matter. Like, I keep thinking about it and I'm like, am I overthinking it? Am I underthinking it? I just don't understand, because in basketball, I know Ben has always been the biggest guy on the floor, 7 foot, fast, handles, and it's been hard to stop. But at some point, like, when we're in the playoffs and you need a shot, all I'm asking it for is for him to keep the defense honest. And I think eventually, some people tell me he doesn't need a shot. Well, guess what? He does. He just needs to at least shoot it and keep the defense honest for this team to win and go far in the playoffs. That's my personal opinion on it. But look, man, let's look at this. So I don't understand this. This is Ben Simmons in high school, because a lot of people want to tell me, oh, Ben Simmons never had a jump shot. Well, look, feast your eyes on this. I don't understand, like, his jump, and that's the thing too. It's like, if Ben Simmons' jump shot, it was ugly. If he's not Sean Marion, he's not Dick Barnett, he's Ben Simmons, his shot looks good. I don't understand it sometimes. I don't. It looks good. All right. In his rookie year, a lot of people said he never came in to the NBA. He never came into the NBA with a shot. Well, feast your eyes on this, okay? This is Ben Simmons in his rookie year summer camp before he had the ankle injury. Look, at the elbow, pulls up, bang. Is it that hard? Look, he sees the defender start to get pulled away, and the other defender's giving him some space. And what does he do? Look, easy, pull up, instinct, shoot, 10 foot. Is it that hard? I don't get it. I really do not understand it at all. This is all we're asking you to do, Ben. A 10-foot elbow shot. It's not hard. And I saw him do one the other night. I don't get it, man. Dang. It's not hard. It's crazy to me, man. There you go. Look. I don't understand it, bro. It's not like the shot is bad. Look, there's a little hitch in it. It's not perfect, but we're just asking you to shoot it. Just try it, Ben. And he does this every single game, which is why I've been saying to people, he has a jump shot. It's just something with his mental and his confidence. And I'm thinking the reasons why he wouldn't do it, right? Is it because of the social pressure on social media? Like, okay, well, how come he's improved other parts of his game? How come he's been criticized for other things, like his turnovers and his defense, and he's improved those? Obviously not as much, but you get what I'm saying. How come Ben Simmons takes other parts of his game to the next level? And going even further, is it because Ben Simmons just doesn't care enough? Well, no, I don't believe that, because why is he out here every single game shooting 15 in a row and making them from three? And why has he done it in game before? And we came back in the bubble and he shot it against the Grizzlies. He shot it in preseason this year. I don't get it, man. And it's really hard for me to try to understand this, because he knows what he needs to do to be great and take his game to the next level and be a 25 a game scorer or more, and for this team to be competitive deep in the playoffs. Look at this, man. It's Furkan to Ben, no hesitation. He pulls up and lets it fly. He pulls up and lets it fly. Give him space. He's going to pull up. It's as easy as that. I don't understand. And look, we knew about Brett Brown and how he never called these plays for Ben to get out to the corner. Whether Ben's a point guard, whether he's a power forward, I think he's a point forward, and that's what he really is destined to be. And we can talk about how he's not put in the right situations. Well, he's had times so far this season in the first couple games to shoot open threes. And that's all I'm saying. It's like they're not even putting pressure out on the perimeter anymore. They're letting him sit open, and he won't take the shot. Here's the one against the Cavs. Trey Burke draws in the two defenders, kick to Ben, and he's wide open, and he just takes it. I know we're up 30 points on a terrible Cavs team last year, but come on, man. Why won't he do this consistently? At least one or two a game. Like, if you're wide, I'm not asking him to try to pry it out of the D and look for things that aren't open, but you're open, just take it. And I'm trying to go through these reasons in my head, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why he wouldn't at least try. Even if we're up, even when we're up on the Knicks, or even when we're down or 30, like, just try it, Ben. We're not going to be mad at you. Look, Tobias drives. He's going to pull in the defender. Brogdon's trying to leak, and they're going to kick it to Ben. And I mean, he's got 5 feet of space. And he pulls up. Even Brogdon was closing in. It didn't go in. It hit the front rim, but it looked good. Look, again, overall, I appreciate Ben Simmons, and I know what he can be for this team. And he's 24, and he's not getting younger. He's not near his prime, though. And this is the perfect time to develop that jump shot. And I know he has. He even makes YouTube videos about it on his own channel. I just don't get why he won't do it in a game. And we all know it's holding this team back from eventually being a title team. If you're telling yourself that Ben doesn't need to shoot, well, you know, he doesn't if he's not a star on a team, if he just wants to be, you know, a serviceable player throughout his whole career. But I'm telling you, Ben Simmons needs to shoot on this team, at least take them and get better at it. And, you know, I've just come to all ends. And again, I'm going to give it more games to see how it plays out, but I just don't get why he won't attempt the open ones. If you guys got any thoughts, let me know down below. Now, moving into our actual video topic, I know we talked longer than we wanted to, but shout out to the members, man. Who is the Sixers' top competitor in the East? So when we look at the standings here, right? Not really the classic way we thought, you know, the season would start. You got Orlando, Atlanta, Cleveland in the top 4 in the East. Now, is that going to maintain? I don't think it's going to maintain like that, obviously. You know, there's been a couple weird days here in the NBA where teams are losing. That other night when everyone was losing by a lot. Overall, when I look at this East, I really think if the Sixers acquire another piece or two at the deadline based on how we perform, I really think that this Sixers team could contend this year. Look, I'm not saying we're going to be the favorite. I'm not saying any of these teams couldn't take us down, but I think we could go second, maybe third round, maybe even farther. Like, there is no team here, and I think we've seen it over the first couple games, and I know it takes time, but every team has its weakness, whether it's Milwaukee losing a lot of their bench that really made that team special last year, whether it's Miami, where some of their guys seem to be in a slump a little bit, whether they seem to be lacking, whether they need another star, you know what I mean? Even Boston, some of their guys like Aaron Nesmith, I don't even think he's played a lot. Kemba Walker's out, so they're missing pieces as well, and they've dropped a couple. Even Brooklyn started out 2-0, looked like the strongest team ever. And I know I think Kyrie and KD rested one of the games, but the other one, you know, Dinwiddie gets hurt. So every team has its weakness, and I think this is going to be the most open year in the East in years. And the Sixers just got to keep grinding and doing their thing. Now, who is the biggest threat to these Sixers? I don't think there's one distinct one. I think my top 3, and you guys let me know if you agree down below, would probably be Brooklyn number 1. I would say Boston number 2, and then probably Milwaukee number 3. And my sleeper would be Miami. Now, here's why I'm saying this. When it comes to Brooklyn, again, a lot of their bench gives them that extra spark. That makes them the Brooklyn Nets, and that makes them very deep as a team. Again, I have my concerns about how Kyrie and KD are going to work in the playoffs. I've seen those guys in different situations before in the playoffs not really be able to find that groove with their teammates. So I don't know how that's going to work. First year head coach in Steve Nash. I just don't know. I have to see it first in the playoffs to see how they perform. But at the end of the day, they have 2 great stars, at least in terms of performance on the basketball court. And Kevin Durant, him coming to the East, I'm telling you, KD is an instant bucket, man. This guy will get his shot anywhere on the court, and he can drop 40 on any given night. He's going to be hard to stop regardless. Now, if you put Ben Simmons on him and Joel Embiid is going to work in the paint, well, you know, we can win some games. I believe we can pull some off against Brooklyn. I don't know if we can win a whole series right now, but you know, I really think we could at least contend with them. But in my eyes, just having Kevin Durant that makes them the favorite as the competitor to the Sixers. I mean, they're just a strong team all the way from their starters to their bench, and their bench will find themselves, and just the pace they're playing at, they just look smooth so far. Now, in terms of Boston, obviously they have to get Kemba Walker back. Obviously, some of their guys, like I said, aren't playing, and really, obviously, we know the way to beat Boston is Joel Embiid. That is the way that we beat Boston. Now, Brad Stevens loves to throw pressure at him, especially in a delay. And they love to bring that double team, just like Nick Nurse did last night. But what I do know is that Tristan Thompson, whoever else, Daniel Tice, they are not stopping Joel Embiid. The Sixers will dominate the Celtics down low, but it's more about guarding their wings in Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Even some of their guys off the bench, like Peyton Pritchard. I loved him. I said he was going to be in the second round. He got drafted in the first. And just having Brad Stevens, that would be a great matchup. I know we beat them in the preseason, but I'm intrigued to see how we played them this year. And I could see us matching up in the playoffs again, but I do think, just given the fact that Celtics have had our number before, and just knowing Brad Stevens and the talent that they do have, I think it's closer than it was in other years, but I do think Boston would still be a threat to us. Now, the reason I put Milwaukee at number 3, again, I think that they lost some of the specialness that makes them Milwaukee, that makes them a 60 or more win team each year. And I think that even though they have a great offensive system with Budenholzer, and they have a lot of shooters who can space the floor, and they have Giannis, I've just seen Giannis in the playoffs. And now that we have Doc Rivers, I could see him kind of putting a clamp on Giannis, because every time Giannis gets to the playoffs, it's really the same thing. They just bring the wall, similar to what they do on Ben Simmons, and they force others to win. And it's not like Chris Middleton always has a good night. It's not always like Dante DiVincenzo, or now even Drew Holiday can be the guy, the main scorer, and lead every night. They can't do that. And I just don't think Milwaukee is that top competitor. Last year, I might have said they were. But right now, I don't think they are. Don't get me wrong. They're 2-2. They're still going to be a good team. They're still going to be a top 3 or 4 seed in the East. But at the end of the day, I said Milwaukee would take a step back. And I do think that they are not as fierce as they were before. I think we can really beat that team. And the sleeper team that I had was Miami, just given the fact they've had the finals experience now. They kind of had that wonder year last year. Obviously, they're going through a little slump right now, but always having Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra, who's a championship proven coach, and having some of those young studs like Tyler Hero, who's going to find his hot zone, Bam Adebayo, and just their supporting cast. They are deep on the bench when it comes to Avery Bradley, when it comes to Dragic or Iguodala or whoever else. I think the Heat are deep. I think they're going to end up being a top 5 seed. And if there was a sleeper, I think it would be them. But again, I think Joel Embiid can dominate that team as well. It's all about which team Joe can dominate, and our shooters being on, and how we're going to space the floor, and really our defense, because I said we were going to be a top 3 team in defense. If our defense is on, we can stop any of those teams. But my order is Brooklyn, Boston, Milwaukee, and Miami. Those top 4 in my, just right now. Obviously, there's still a season to go, and injuries are going to happen and all this stuff. But just right now, that's how I'm feeling. And there's some of these other sleeper teams like the Hawks and the Magic. Who knows if they're going to stay up? They might be playoff teams. Who knows? But you guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Who are the top 4 competitors in the East when it comes to the Sixers? And tell me why. Appreciate all you guys. Be sure to hit that like, subscribe, comment on the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts on the first 4 games of the season. And with that being said, catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect.